Okay, today I'm working on a Hyundai Azera 2006. Has a couple engine codes. The one I'm going to chase today is the p0480, the fan control circuit, because it is overheating. If it don't cost too much, then I'll chase the other one, but we're going to start with the one that's causing the most problems right now. You can see I'm going to start it, and you'll see the check engine light is on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clear the codes, and we're going to see this code comes back fast, so if we figure it out, it's going to be a pretty obvious repair and I'll know quickly. So let me clear it and I'll be right back. Okay, cleared the codes. I'm going to start the car and you're going to see they're both going to return pretty quick. So it's testing itself immediately. So I have no codes, just started it. Give it a sec and boom, here they both came right back. The 480 and the 0057. So like I said, we're going to chase the 480 and see where that leads us. Alright, after doing some research, I came to find out that there is a cooling fan controller, and it's being told what to do by the PCM. So there's the PCM, that gray wire, fan control, goes up, just kind of goes through the power distribution center and back out, and it comes out brown, and it goes into the cooling fan controller. So your obvious checks are, your powers and your grounds. The white wire goes through a cooling fan relay. When I turn the key on, I do have 12 volts. The two black wires, they're ground. Did a resistance or a voltage drop test across those two. There's no excessive voltage. I have a good ground. The concern I have is, of course, the fan isn't running. And so my next test is the brown wire. So I'm going to do that with a graphing meter, and I'll set that up. I'll be right back. Okay, the thing with the 480 code is after you do your power and ground checks, it wants you to check the signal waveform graph, and when you go there, it's kind of vague. It gives you just a picture of a basic graph, but there's no reference to see how many volts that I'm dealing with here, and I'll show you why I'm saying that in a minute. But then it says is the measured signal normal, and they don't give me a really good clear definition of normal, and it says after that it says if the problem is corrected after substituting with a known good component, a cooling fan module, then replace it. Well, the cooling fan module is $500, and I kind of want to be pretty sure before I make that call, so we're going to do that and see where it goes. After lifting the car and finding the component, it is a bugger to get to. It's right there, kind of below the driver's side headlight. And I found the connector that I'm looking for. Actually, I checked them all. I had the 3-wire, one is the 2 grounds in the signal, and there's a single wire one right next to it. That is your white wire power from the relay, and then there's 2 on the opposite end that go out and control the fan. So I have back probed the brown wire I'm looking for, and I brought it down to a jumper wire I made with an alligator clip. We'll hook this up to a lab scope and see what we got. Okay, when I started the car, you can see I have a waveform, pretty thin, but what concerns me is I'm on the 5 volt scale, and I have a little over 2 volts square wave, and usually don't see that. It's usually 5 volt or an 8 volt reference, so it got me a little bit concerned. I'm not sure if the computer's sending out a reference signal to control this, or if it's trying to pull down voltage that should be in the circuit. You can see whenever I turn the air conditioning on that it will change, so the computer is trying to do something. I'll do that and show you. You can see with the air conditioning on, still the same voltage, but my pulse width is a lot wider, so the computer is telling this module what to do. I'm just not sure about the signal and there's not a lot of information on it, so I kind of have to play around. I'm going to hook up a test light to it. I have one that has a power and a ground. It kind of switches automatically and it may give me an idea what's going on. Okay, here I have one of these computer safe test lights. You just took one positive, one negative, and it'll glow red for positive and green for negative. Good for quick, simple checks. Now if I touch the wire that we're testing, you can see it glows ground. And the voltage in the system has actually gone up to maybe 4.5, 5 volts now. So I'm pretty sure that this is a pull down circuit, so the computer is taking the 12 volts and grounding it to control this module. That's why the code is setting that fast. So what I could do is I'll get just a regular light bulb test light that'll give me 12 volts instead of 5. And this has, like I said, a light bulb in it, so it's going to have some resistance, so it should not fry the computer circuit. And I'm going to touch and you can see it lights up. So I have a definite ground because my test light is hooked up to battery positive. Right there. So here we have a ground, and now I'm off the charts. So I'll change my scale and we'll see. I should have the 12 volts. Alright, when I turn the air on, you can see my pulse width changed. The computer's controlling it. Fan, of course, isn't running because we're just using a test light to substitute my module. But what I want to do to really confirm the diagnostics is the codes are still there, of course. Check engine light is on. I'm going to shut the car off and do the same thing. Key on, engine off. I'm going to clear the codes. And once they clear, I still have the key on, but it didn't test anything yet. So if I read the codes, it's going to show me I have none. So I have no codes present. I'll start the car. It's going to run for a couple seconds and that light should, or at least the 480 won't return. But just the heater circuit did. So I'm confident in my diagnosis of a faulty fan control module. I'm just not sure if the customer wants to go for it. So we might have to just call this one diagnosed and not fixed, unless I get the okay to spend, I want to do the cooling fan also just because the module's bad and I want to protect the $500 or $600 module. So you're gonna have an $800-900 job and I don't know if they want to do it, so we may have to just deal with diagnosed. Thanks for your time.